Tonight, the response to the coronavirus intensifies as the RSL cancels Anzac Day events. And 3 MPs join forces to call for changes to new airport security regulations.
With the latest from around the region, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening. The response to the coronavirus continues to grow in our region, impacting the way we live. More sports have postponed competition, while major events are falling by the wayside. We start in Port Augusta, where the City Council has thrown its support behind a new multi-million-dollar federal government campaign.
There's full support for the national campaign by the Port Augusta City Council as they gear towards keeping the community informed about the changing circumstances surrounding the pandemic.
Following through from what the federal and the government and the state government have done, the local government now is also putting out initiatives where they're supplying videos on instructing people what to look for if they think they may have the virus.
The 4 videos provide viewers with relevant information, ranging from what to do if you've travelled overseas to how to keep good hygiene and help stop the spread.
This situation is not a good situation, but we don't want people to panic. So the more information we can share that people can understand what's occurring and how to react, the better it will be.
New measures are being taken locally.
Good to see around town there are other businesses doing initiatives. McDonald's, for example, I went to get my coffee this morning, they're wearing their gloves on their hands, which is fantastic to see.
The campaign will run from now until the end of the year and will be translated into more than 20 languages to ensure as many people are aware as possible.
We're all trying to work together and work on the front foot and make this a safe place.
Cities around the region are becoming more hands-on towards the pandemic. Hospitals in Port Augusta and Whyalla will soon be opening COVID clinics. The impact also having an effect on the local transport industry, with airline carrier Regional Express announcing they've asked the Australian Stock Exchange to place their shares on a trading halt. And judging by continuing developments, there's more change on its way. Laura Milovanovic, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Anzac Day services across the Spencer Gulf have been cancelled for the first time since World War II, as coronavirus fears continue to cause chaos. Port Lincoln's RSL is set to hold a private dawn service for just 4 of its members.
A day of remembrance now set to be held at home in private. The annual Anzac Day dawn service, the latest event to be axed amid the coronavirus crisis.
This is a bit disappointing to a lot of people, will be, and to us and members of the community.
Today's shock decision follows similar moves in New South Wales, Queensland, Victoria, Tasmania and Western Australia.
Oh, it's very disappointing. It's a time when you actually get to remember and mateship, and there's a community here has a deep relationship with Defence, and it's yes, it is hard.
The cancellation follows the government's ban on large gatherings in a bid to curb the spread of the deadly virus, which is fast becoming a national crisis.
It's the biggest day of the year for us. We work, a lot of people work very hard throughout the year to make it happen.
Former Royal Australian Air Force technician Dave Gaffey says it's a hard blow for many in regional communities who share strong links to the military.
Very important. This is a part of my life, my bloody social life, and I put a lot of time and effort in this place over the last 15 years, so I'd hate to see it go.
Despite the cancellation of the event, Port Lincoln's RSL has vowed to soldier on and host a private dawn service with 4 of its members here at the Town Memorial, but asked the public and veterans to not attend.
They are in that demographic that they will be at risk, the elderly veterans, so look at it on TV. It'll be there at the dawn service, I'm sure it'll be televised or on radio, and just take some time in silence during the day to remember.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
And the threat of coronavirus has seen the cancellation of a popular Broken Hill festival. Organisers of the Silver City's Heritage Festival forced to pull the pin just a few weeks out from the event.
Broken Hill City Council making the decision to err on the side of caution.
We supported the cancellation of the Western Division. We looked at the Heritage Festival and said This is a risk at this stage. We just need to make sure our community's safe, and so we've made the call to cancel that.
The 2020 Broken Hill Heritage Festival was supposed to be held between the 9th and 12th of April. The theme for this year was to be Secrets and Scandals, exploring the city's less glamorous stories and attractions.
Although this year is cancelled, every year at Easter there will be a Heritage Festival. Every year there will be events. So all the events we had planned this year will be at next year.
While no cases of coronavirus have been declared in Broken Hill, its growing threat fueling the decision to call the festival off. Also cancelled an upcoming seniors concert.
The seniors are the most vulnerable in our community, and we've had to cancel that as well. So there are some big calls.
A major lighting project that was supposed to be launched alongside the festival will still go ahead. Locals will soon see several different buildings across the city illuminated with lights and pictures.
People will be able to drive around their car, they have their social distancing, they'll be able to get out and stand there and have a look. And it's a new program for Broken Hill, it's something different.
The Mayor says it's important for locals to keep themselves informed about coronavirus. She's urging people to visit the New South Wales Health website for more information about the pandemic. Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
And if you need any more information or are concerned you've had contact with Covid-19, you can ring the national hotline on 1-800-020-080. Information's also available at SA Health, New South Wales Health and Federal Health Department websites. Those links can be found on our Facebook page. Wireless Foodland is continuing to offer its home delivery service for those in isolation or have flu-like symptoms. Delivery staff, however, will no longer enter a property, leaving the orders on the owner's doorstep.
We're trying to maintain the availability for people to be able to get stock. We're trying to contain the spread of anything.
I've just come all the way from Queensland. We're having a barbecue tonight. I'm walking in, I couldn't believe it. The last pack of potatoes.
Coles and Woolworths have suspended their services until further notice due to significant item shortages. Still to come tonight, more sporting associations confirm they've postponed for the foreseeable future. And MPs joined forces to change proposed airport security regulations. Welcome back. Senator Rex Patrick and our region's MPs are joining forces, encouraging locals to sign a new petition to stop the regional airport tax. They fear the new measures will see regional communities left to pay expensive ongoing running costs.
Putting up petition signs and handing out flyers. All sides of politics uniting, calling on the federal government to drop the regional airport tax.
Well, I'm trying to get support for a Senate petition that I can table just to let people in Canberra know that regional people are not happy about what is going on here.
The government will pay for the installation of the new security screening equipment. A new petition has been launched calling on the government to also cover the ongoing operational costs.
I have no issues with increased security measures being put here in places like Whyalla, but we cannot expect locals to pay for national security costs.
Ultimately have an impact on the services that are delivered, not just to Whyalla, but to Roxby Downs, to Port Lincoln, and possibly also Kangaroo Island and Mount Gambier down the track.
Whyalla's mayor also on board.
I will be participating in the hearing in Canberra next month, and I will be lobbying very hard and fighting for the best outcome for Whyalla City.
It's an additional cost regional communities will be left to bear, which could see ticket prices increase by $70.
From Whyalla City Council's point of view, this will be absolutely disastrous for our city.
Rowan Ramsey suggesting a small fee would be more appropriate.
I don't think that we should have a completely free ride on this, but in this case, because our numbers are so low, it's astronomical per seat.
For more information, visit fairgoforregions.com.au. Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Police are on the hunt for thieves after a smash and grab on a parked car in Port Lincoln overnight. It's understood the pair used a rock to smash the window of the Mitsubishi Challenger just after 2:30 this morning, making off with this purse. Patrols were called to the house on Horrocks Street in Curtin Point, combing the area for any evidence. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000. A proposal for telehealth consults has been approved to assist limiting the spread of coronavirus. Those in home isolation or quarantine, as well as those with high risk factors, are now able to consult their GPs over the phone. Laura Milovanovic has more.
Picking up your phone or going on your laptop are a couple of the new ways you can consult with your doctor amidst the coronavirus.
Some of those vulnerable people, particularly those over 70 years of age, can have their consult over the phone or via Skype from the comfort of their own home while they're not having contact with the rest of the community.
It comes with restrictions, with only those at high risk or in home isolation able to access consults via technology.
To benefit the maximum number of people possible. So they've decided that if they're used, then they will be bulk billed.
These consults will mean waiting rooms will have less people. The association says this will help reduce the risk of spreading the illness, making consultations safer for both patients and doctors during the global pandemic.
Be able to check on them, see how they're going, answer their questions and see if they're getting worse, see if they really need hospitalisation or if they need to be seen.
Telehealth consults have been trialled in the past in Australia, including during the recent bushfire crisis over summer and also in drought.
And that's why their success was thought that it would be used in this sort of global emergency pandemic situation.
There is no knowing how long these consults will be available for, with new information being released by medical professionals on a daily basis.
Local sporting competitions face an uncertain future due to the threat of coronavirus. AFL Broken Hill officials met last night to discuss its season, while Whyalla Soccer Association has become the latest to suspend matches.
3 important days to start Broken Hill footy for 2020 scrapped.
We certainly take advice from the AFL as the governing body of all AFL leagues in the country. And when we looked at what we had planned for the foreseeable future, we decided we needed to cancel a few of those events.
The first event to be cancelled, the launch of local Auskick on Friday night.
Last year we had over 300 registered kids. You put mum and dad in, grandparents, we would have well exceeded the 500 limit.
The AFL Broken Hill season launch on Saturday is also gone, so is the Lightning Cup pre-season tournament.
We've got over 1,000 registered players and officials in Broken Hill out of a population of just over 17,000. That's huge, and it is the major sporting code. Our number one priority is their health, safety and wellbeing, and that's what we're looking at.
At this stage, the start of the season is still penciled in for the 18th of April, but Mr Schmidt says the idea of pushing the start of all country competitions back to May 31 is being floated.
If we get more direction from the AFL about having a later start to the season, which is what's happening at state level, well then we'll follow those directions.
7 Spencer Golf News spoke to officials from the Whyalla, Port Lincoln and Northern Areas football leagues. They all said they await information from the SANFL. A decision has already been made in Whyalla Soccer, officials announcing a 14-day hiatus. Port Pirie's Savoy Soccer Club and the Northern Demons will also experience a 2-week break, with Football Federation South Australia and the Amateur Soccer League announcing they were also suspending play. Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us. Port Lincoln honours the achievements of local women. And the crackdown on drugs in the Mid-North continues. Port Lincoln has celebrated International Women's Day by recognising those in society going above and beyond. This year's theme, Each for Equal, aimed at encouraging positive change for women everywhere.
Standing up and striking the pose for equality, that was this year's theme for International Women's Day.
To all come together to make a difference.
Port Lincoln's women and some of its men attended a brunch to help celebrate the vital role women play in society. Locals Sonia Ford and Valda Glover being recognised with Women Achievement Award.
I'm just blown away that I've received such an incredible award, and I'm just happy that I have done all I can in my life for everybody else.
Valda Glover hasn't had an easy life. Her husband was diagnosed with dementia 13 years ago. She's his full-time carer and an advocate for the debilitating disease.
Because everyone in the past has locked their loved ones in their homes and not gone out. We haven't. We've gone out and we are very transparent, and I think that's been very useful.
The event also heard from guest speaker Sonia Ryan and her journey of heartbreak of how her daughter was murdered by an online predator. Her bravery saw Carly's Law enacted by the Commonwealth Government in the fight against childhood exploitation.
The Federal Police have told me they're using the heck out of Carly's Law. It's like a gateway law to get them in the door to pull the child out of harm before the offence has occurred. So that was the whole purpose of the law, a preventative law rather than reactive law.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
A man is faced at Port Pirie Magistrates Court after being charged with drug trafficking. Police stopped a vehicle on the Augusta Highway near Port Germain about 9 p.m. Saturday night. A 29-year-old passenger was allegedly found in possession of methamphetamine. He was arrested and charged with 2 counts of trafficking in a controlled substance, breach of bail and possessing equipment. Port Augusta Basketball held its grand final last night. However, the impact of the coronavirus was on show. The sidelines of the basketball courts at Central Oval empty to everyone bar players and coaches. Spectator limits of just 2 per player were enforced, with all inside required to be over the age of 18. It's the first time the restrictions had been put in place, as communities across the world axe mass gatherings in a bid to reduce the spread. And the match was one of a number of basketball grand finals held across the Spencer Gulf over the past week. With a look at the scores from across the region, here's Sophia Contagonis with Sport Wrap.
With the weather heating up this week, so did the heat on the court, with a number of summer sports reaching the end of the season. Looking at basketball first, and Whyala's Wildcats defeated the Demons by only 2 points in a nail-biting grand final. Chad McLean, the man of the match, scoring 14 points. Demons' Elliot McNamara also starring, scoring 18 points. Over in Port Pirie, the Pacers defeated Globetrotters. Lawson Munzberg, the standout, scoring 22 points. And it was a tight tussle between the Ducks and the Tomcats, Ducks eventually winning by 3 points. Over to Port Lincoln, and Sharks defeated Rangers 1 by 12 points in the grand final. Ben Shillabeer, the man of the match, scoring 17 points. To another grand final, and Port Augusta's Eagles flew high against the Titans, winning by 15 points. Aaron Olsen and Cameron Bembo combining for 27 and 22 points respectively. And lastly, over to Broken Hill, where 4 teams played out the semi-finals. Brick Throwers dispatched the Ramjets by 8 points, and North Bulldogs' 11-point win against Crooklyn will see them play in next week's final. Moving to softball, and Port Pirie's defending premiers Tigers gave it their best shot in the game against Checkmates. It was looking like a tiebreaker before Mel Geronimo got herself into a scoring position at the bottom of the 7th, and a second base hit from Jackie Beasley brought in the winning run. And in the other game, Cougars 9 defeated Solly Cats 4. Both sides were missing key players, with Cats being forced to drastically change their fielding positions. But it was a great throw from Mel Gonsalves that brought the game to an end. And finally to soccer, Port Pirie's Northern Demons women's team lost 4-1 against Croydon Kings in their first game of the season, while the men's side got the first win of the season, defeating Salisbury United 2-1. And in Whyala soccer, it was the opening round of their season. Wanderers and Lions split the points, while Westland United defeated Croatia. And that's a wrap of another big week of sport. Thanks to those who sent in their results. We'll be back the same time next week.
Stay with us after the break. I'll have the latest weather details as a cool change prepares to come across our region. Hello again. To the weather now, and we've got another hot one tomorrow. However, the cool change is coming soon. Temperatures were in the low to mid-30s across the region today. Port Augusta and Whyalla both hitting 34 degrees, Port Lincoln 32. Broken Hill sunny and 30 degrees, Port Pirie 34. And Adelaide was partly cloudy and 31 degrees. On the satellite, there's some patchy cloud over southern and western parts, but it's not producing any rain. Skies elsewhere remain clear thanks to a high-pressure system. On the waters tomorrow, north to northeast winds reaching 15 knots, seas at a metre. And the sun will rise at 7:17 with sunset just before 7:30. Hot and sunny tomorrow with temperatures rising. Port Augusta set for a warm 37 degrees, Whyalla 35. Port Lincoln and Coffin Bay both 33 degrees. Woodner reaching a scorching 39, Quorn 37. Broken Hill sunny and 33. Port Pirie 36, Clare 34, Cleve 37, Kadina 35 and Adelaide a top of 33 degrees. Looking ahead to the next 4 days, cloud for Port Lincoln through until the weekend. 28 Thursday, 23 Friday and 21 Saturday. Cleve expecting around 34 on Thursday, 25 Friday and partly cloudy and 22 on Saturday. And Woodner will be 34 Thursday, 26 Friday and partly cloudy and 24 Saturday. A hot one for Whyalla on Thursday with the city expected to reach 38, dropping to 24 Friday, partly cloudy and 22 Saturday. Sunny and 39 in Port Augusta Thursday, 27 Friday, and reaching 24 on Saturday. And in Kadina, partly cloudy and 34 Thursday, 24 Friday, 23 Saturday. Sunny and 37 degrees in Port Pirie on Thursday, 26 on Friday and 24 on Saturday. Warm and clear, with a top of 35 predicted for Thursday, back to 24 by Friday, 21 on Saturday. And it's looking lovely and sunny in Broken Hill. Sunny and 35 on Thursday, 33 Friday, partly cloudy and 27 on Saturday. And that's the local news this Tuesday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later, but until then, enjoy your evening. On behalf of the entire news team, it's good night.